So one of the most frequently asked questions I've encountered from prospective home buyers is this: what credit score do I need in order to buy a house? And my answer is usually the same to everyone who asks me that question. There is no specific number. However, your credit score needs to fall within a certain range. Well, let's put it this way. Your credit score needs to fall within an acceptable range, an ideal range. So, what is an ideal range as far as your credit score is concerned when trying to get a mortgage or trying to get a home loan? Well, if you're in the 500 range, you can pretty much be assured that you will be rejected, you will be turned down. And that's a fact. A mortgage lender has no interest in lending money to someone whose credit score is in the 500 range, because as far as they're concerned, a 500 range means that you're a liability. It almost means that you're a flight risk, or basically means that you have an issue with long-term financial commitment. So a mortgage broker has no interest in working with you. I'm sorry to inform you, but the 500 range basically says that A, you don't have a credit history, your credit history is very short, or B, you have a problem paying your bills, and no mortgage lender or no mortgage broker is going to want to take on that liability. It's just too much. It's just too great a risk. And furthermore, if someone is going to give you a mortgage, right, and you have such a low credit score, that simply means that your interest rates will be crazy. Your interest rates will make your mortgage so incredibly high. There's no way you can sustain paying that mortgage on a monthly basis. So now, how about the 600 range? Well, the 600 range is much better than the 500 range. However, the 600 range is kind of iffy, because if you're in the low 600, say anything less than 620, most people will not look at you, right? So if you're about 620, if your credit score is about 620, then you might get lucky in finding a mortgage lender or a mortgage broker who will be willing to work with you. And this is especially the case if you are applying for an FHA loan. With an FHA, someone might look at you with a 620 score. Anything lower than that, you can forget about it. So a 620 is a good starting point, but you're still pretty much deniable. A mortgage person can pretty much still turn you down and say, no, your score is not high enough, especially if you owe a lot of money. If your bills are significant and you approach a mortgage lender with a 620 credit score, you can forget about it. They will turn you down. And usually if you can get away with a 620, it's a case where you don't have much bills, you don't have that many bills, and you don't have that many expenses that's going to affect the way in which you're paying your mortgage. And you might also get lucky with a 620 if you're going to be trying to get a multifamily home, because a multifamily looks like an extra earning. It looks like an extra income, so that will work in your favor. Trying to get a conventional loan with a credit score of 620, woo, it's pretty rough. It's I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it's pretty rough. You will undergo a whole lot of scrutiny. There'll be a whole lot of jumping through hoops, and a whole lot of paperwork, and a whole lot of digging into your financial history and all that crazy stuff. And sometimes you might actually be going through the process, and towards the end, you might end up getting slashed and end up getting rejected, and just losing the whole deal and losing that house that you've been struggling with to get this whole time. So as your credit score rises through the 600 range, it's beginning to look a little better. Let's say you were 650, or say you were like 670. That looks a whole lot better than 620. And you might get away with it, but just know this: your interest rates will be considerably high. Your interest rates will be higher than, let's say, if you're in the 700 range. So sometimes if you're in the 600 range, the high 600, it's better to wait. Give yourself like a good 6 months to build your credit, repair your credit, and get some extra points on your credit score before you pursue trying to get a mortgage. Now, if you're in the 700 range, you're beginning to look good to a mortgage lender. You're beginning to look very attractive to a mortgage broker. they will be willing to work with you if you're in the 700 range because you're less a liability, and it's less paperwork and less stress to get your paperwork processed, and less stress in getting you a mortgage. You being in the 700 range basically says to mortgage lenders that, hey, I have a good financial history, I have a good credit history, I pay my bills on time, I'm earning enough money to keep myself above water, I can pay for this house and pay this mortgage in a timely manner and not struggle from month to month, not be a liability. So now you're virtually undeniable if you're in the 700 range. The only thing that can trip you up is if your bills are crazy high. If you have a ton load of bills and maybe you're not making enough money, then that can be a problem. Then those two things, not making enough money and having a lot of bills, can actually let's say negate some of the benefits of having a 700 credit score, or a credit score that is in the 700 range. So again, if you're in the 700 range, your bills aren't crazy, and you're making enough money, then hey, no one can deny you. And especially if you're gonna be trying to get a multifamily which shows up as an extra income or an extra earning, then no one can deny you. No mortgage lender will deny you. No broker will tell you to go sit down and come back again in a year or 6 months after you prepare your credit. Now, if you're in the 800 range, let's say your credit score is 800 to 850, you're undeniable. Lenders and mortgage people will be chasing you down basically. They'll be doing everything to get your attention. They'll be doing everything to get you to borrow money from them to purchase a house. If you're in the 800 range, you're pretty much undeniable. No one can say no to you. Again, if your bills are crazy high though, if your bills are crazy high and your earning is crazy low or something, then that can be a problem again. But with an 800 credit score to 850 credit score, you're on top of the world. You're good. You can get anything because credit means everything in this world and in this society right now. So 800 to 850 credit score, you're set. So just a quick recap. What credit score do you need to get a home or to get a house, to purchase a house? Remember, try to be within the high 600s into the 800s. But the best thing is try to make that initial approach when you're at least close to 700, especially if you're 740. So that's very important because you're pretty much undeniable. And if, remember, the mortgage broker will run your credit score. And if your credit score is not good enough, you're going to suffer the consequence, because what's going to happen when your credit is run, basically your score can be slashed by as much as 20 points, and you don't want to have 20 points slashed off your credit score if your credit score is in the 500 range. Because if your credit score is say 550 and you go to apply for a home and your credit score gets slashed by 20 points because of the hard inquiry, then your credit score is going to drop significantly. So you want to be in the perfect Goldilocks zone of 750 to 850. Once you're in that zone, you're pretty good. Remember, but as long as you don't owe a lot of money, and as long as you're at least employed and making enough money, 750 to 850 will get you almost anything. So in closing, my name is Ian Robinson, and I'm a realtor in Northern New Jersey. I work with the Jordan Buyers Realty, and I'm here to help you with any questions or anything you want as far as real estate is concerned. If you want to buy a home, hey, send me a message, contact me. If you want to sell your home, same thing. I'm here for you guys. Here to offer my real estate services. So peace out, all the best. See you next time. Thanks for watching.